kids were going to be like the next big thing had this had gone according to plan. I mean, they're not getting the credit, that I think they are, that is, owed to them. If had they stayed alive, they would be reaping the benefits of what's going on right now. But when you're at a party, there's nothing that's private. There is no privacy at parties.
That's for you. Wanna scream to you my honesty, but is honesty the best that I can do? It's colder than when we came. Darkness, it burns in our eyes. And this loneliness, it chills me to the core. Till we see that there's no loneliness at all. Help me, help me, help me to see who I've become. Help
The following audiovisual exhibits are pertaining to a special investigation by the FBI in Yes, this is Brandon McCarthy of the British News Network reporting from the great city of Manhattan, New York City, New York. June the 1st, apparently the Westchester coroner has confirmed now that 18, in fact, are dead. 18 bodies have been found at the tragic inferno of the graduation party, as the national media has called it. The actual audio of the call 911 has just been released. On June the 2nd here, the day after the tragedy, we have now discovered through MSNBC that the South Carolina senator, the incumbent of 3 terms Republican senator, actually has a daughter who is actually amongst the dead, tragically elevating this to a very high level. The Westchester fire chief has actually now ruled that this is a suspected arson and an investigation shall ensue, and the New York media has covered this tragedy quite extensively. However, because of the high-profile nature of the South Carolina senator's daughter, it looks as though the national media may pick up the story. In addition to that, the Federal Bureau of Investigation has been ordered to undertake an investigation as to whether this was arson, suicide, homicide, or an accident. Apparently, the networks are going to break up found footage into a mini-series of a reality television program. On the 2nd of August, the FBI has discovered 9 hours of footage. They've actually themselves now, through court order, have acquired all of the footage to the CIA, and in a way to control, I believe, the damage here. Reportedly, NBC, Comcast, Universal has announced that all profits will be given to the family. Apparently, the NBC has premiered the show to groundbreaking, earth-shattering ratings. Very, very high. Media frenzy has gone in earnest. It seems that these individuals who had absolutely no fame during their lives have discovered fame posthumously due to these incredible scenes of very ordinary activities rendered meaningful by their proximity to their death. A trailer for the TV series was just released on September the 21st. But apparently, more than that has been leaked. Apparently, which I don't know if I'm reporting a positive or negative thing, but this shit has... The following audiovisual...
Mr. Lee, this is Bo Broussard. I'm actually with the New York Attorney General's office. And I'm giving you a call in regards to some found footage you may have in your possession.
I suppose, since I've been in this business a lot of years, sir, and I'll admit, when this thing came in anonymously, you must know by now that it came in anonymous, and we still don't know who it came from. But yeah, this was some material that... The best of us, the most professional among us, we still don't know what to make of it, heads or tails. And we were about to call you, I gotta tell you. We weren't trying to pull any funny stuff, but we just didn't know what we had.
Yeah, they're always about to call. Let's go back to the tape, okay? You said it came anonymously. Did that come through the mail?
By Federal Express, huh?
And do you still have the envelope that it came in?
Absolutely, sir. I mean, we're not idiots. I mean, we are. We ain't from West Virginia or Louisiana. I'm just telling you, even though I have a southern accent,
Wednesday night, Jim's off. I'm Rob Jennings. The big story in Action News is the multi-alarm fire that turned a $5 million, 22,000 square foot mansion into charred embers. The flames erupted around 2:30 inside the French Chateau on South Ithan Avenue in Radnor Township, right down the road from Villanova's campus, and it burned for the rest of the afternoon. Kenneth Moten has been covering this story for the whole time for us. A couple of firefighters were hurt there. Kenneth, how are they doing?
Rob, one firefighter suffered a minor burn, the other a minor injury to his back, so they will be okay. About 20 minutes ago, Ithan Avenue reopened and crews cleared the scene. We've also learned this house had an alarm and sprinkler system to help prevent it from a major fire. Well, it appears that system was no match for whatever started today's fire. This is the new video tonight of firefighters in Radnor Township doing what they can to save this $5 million mansion. Throughout the evening, dozens of firefighters put out the hot spots of the fire that ripped through this 19-bedroom house and left behind this burned-out shell on Ithan Avenue.
I thought it was a bloody shame, actually, because it's such a pretty house.
Retired businessman Wayne Lewis owned the 6-acre estate in the 70s. As Chopper 6 HD hovered over, he watched the inferno eat away at the roof of his former home.
When we moved in, it was really quite nice, and we lived there for several years, and then we finally moved out because it was just a tad big.
The house is so big, the family living inside didn't even know there was a fire until the alarm system sounded and alerted firefighters around 2:30 p.m. The Canadian renters got out safely with their pets. Firefighters worked for 3 hours to contain the fire.
Just a tough fire. It was a slate roof, trying to get through the roof to get to the fire, and the fire was underneath it real heavily. And it's just hard to put out a fire that it contained with that much heat.
Current owner Gerald Badoff was trying to sell the French chateau, which was called Bloomfield Estates. The home with its high ceilings and beautiful ballroom was built in the 1920s by a wealthy Philadelphia industrialist as a wedding present for his daughter. Several decades ago, another fire took out the roof of the mansion. This time, those like Elaine Scherer who know this historic home are not confident it will be restored.
It's sad. It's another piece of history that's disappearing.
We should also mention this house and the property were used in several movies over the years, including a thriller called Safe, which comes out later this month. The fire marshal says he could have a cause of the fire as early as tomorrow.
As the tears on my face, and I'm stuck up in the storm. I guess I'll be alright. Oh, oh, oh. Then it hits me like, oh, oh, no. And all that pain that's slipping off my feet got me flying till I'm crying and I'm down on my knees. It was
I wanna wake
interrupt you. I'm just telling you this right now. I want to do anything I can to cooperate in this investigation. Tell me what you need. Tell me what you need.
Well, like I said, I need to know that you haven't sold or tried to sell that tape to anybody else. Can you tell me that?
I can tell you I've not completed the transaction. I admit that, but I must admit, frankly, I know I'm not under oath, so I'm just saying this out of the goodness of my heart. I haven't entered into preliminary negotiations for the material.
Who has the tape?
Excuse me?
Who has the tape?
Well, I have a copy of the tape, and I will forward right now. If you give me an email, I will have it within 4 seconds. So you have everything I have. So let's just stay friendly here, because
Who has the original tape?
I don't know. I don't know who sent it to me, and I say that with the God's honest truth. Think of this, Special Agent. Here's the angle. Someone sent it to me with the hope that I would be able to exploit it into the distribution media, whether it's MTV.
Did you make any copies?
I did receive through FedEx a copy of this material, 9 hours plus of raw material from their last hours at that graduation party.
Did you make any copies after you received
No.
the footage?
No, I have not. I have not. But what I have done is told people in the industry about the existence of this, because to me it still could be a Blair Witch thing where it's all fictional. I just don't know.
Well, it's certainly not a crime for you to tell anybody about it. But from this point forward, you'd be doing yourself a favor if you wouldn't tell anybody else about this. Because right now, this thing has the potential to really ruin your life. I mean, if you want to be in a position where just the fact that right now the tapes in California could change this from being a New York investigation into an interstate FBI situation. And let me tell you something, the feds don't mess around.
I didn't ask for the tape. So the tape was sent to me, and to be honest, I was about to report it, but when you get so many tapes from filmmakers trying to do a Blair Witch, you can't report ever fake. The biggest movie ever made was Paranormal Activity, and it's a fake, faux footage, found footage thing. It's a genre unto itself. So when I get tapes like that, if I call the cops I'd be calling the cops every day. So here's what I gotta understand. After watching the tape and seeing the deaths and it all putting it together, I realized I was in too deep. I was about to call you boss. If I was trying to hide this, I would not try to shop it, and I will give you everything. You get me I'll get you right now all my people on, so they will give you all the information to how to get in touch with us. We will send you digitally everything we got, and let's touch base soon, because I'd like to know where I stand in all this, because my reputation's at stake.
I'm sure by now you know that the footage you found is real, correct?
Well, to be honest, if it is real, and let me just add one fact you may not know. I got this from an anonymous source, but there was a note in there, and I'll give it to you for handwriting analysis because it was handwritten. The note said something to the effect of, "We want you to show the world or share this with the world." And I think the footage, for whatever reason, is their manifesto or their statement or their suicide note, whatever. I don't understand. I know that they had something to communicate, and that's why they sent it to Creative Artists Agency.
My understanding is that you also believe that one of the participants may be alive. Is that true?
That is new information we just received. Basically, after watching some of this footage, we found out that one of the individuals was rejected from a marriage proposal and humiliated by the fact that this woman who he had asked to marry, who accepted it and rejected him, went... I just got the news about the testing 1 2 testing 1 2 testing 1 2 testing 1 2 second test. Wait, I'm just going to do a test. Testing 1 2 testing 1 2 testing 1 2 testing 1 2. So I got something real, so I got something real special for you that I think you really like. And
Just in a concise one sentence pitch, please.
In a one sentence concise pitch, the graduation party is a television.
Stop right there.
No, sir.
This is about a
of 20-somethings, self-pitying, boring young people. It has been done to death, and no, who wants to see another one of those? Not me, not anybody I know worth talking to.
So if you had a chance to have another Jersey Shore, except they weren't Italian and they weren't, doing drinking all night and having all, you wouldn't take that again. So you really don't. I understand it's not art, but it is business and it makes a lot of money. And I just thought you'd want that for NBC Universal. I mean, just it's great. It's obvious programming.
I can make money other ways where I don't have to be sick when I look in the mirror.
Well, first of all, so I think you should consider a couple of things. Number one, these are college graduates of a very interesting university. This is an online university, ready? It's founded, it's based in New York. All the guys some dormitory and everyone's wide and it's like this whole internet thing, but that's not important. The point is that it starts at the graduation. But what's fascinating is that this they didn't have a traditional curriculum or anything like that. What it was it had been founded by the younger brother of a famous intellectual Noam Chomsky, real smart guy up in Boston, MIT, linguistics and political stuff and all that. Well, turns out there was an Abraham Chomsky, Abe Chomsky they called, and he's a smart guy just like his brother, and he started this online school, made a ton of money off it, a ton of money, because all these rich parents send their kids there because it's like a place to go find themselves and learn about life and things like that. It's a real touchy feely artsy bullshit kind of thing.
I'm waiting for this to get interesting.
Well,
I
sir,
know lots of people with college degrees who are not very interested to talk to, and in fact, some of those young punks on MTV's Real World, Unreal World would be more like it, have college degrees themselves, and they were not very interested.
Well, sir, I'll tell you this. It isn't the degrees, the college degrees that makes them interesting. It ain't what they say that makes them interesting. It ain't any of the plot lines from a love triangle to a marriage proposal that's accepted then rejected in a betrayal and cheating between many different couples and a baby lost in an abortion and a pregnancy that happens unexpectedly and a mushroom trip. A mushroom trip where a woman talks to her future self. It's out there, man. This is like Fellini meets, I don't know, man. It's just like out there, heavy.
I am giving you 3 minutes.
Okay, well, I guess I will. I guess I do need to get to the hook. There is one thing that makes this special, and something that I think the city, this town, no one's ever seen something like this before. And if you would just do me the honor of clicking on the, if you look at your email and pull it up right there on that screen, I got a link right there on the subject line. You just click that. It's going to take you to a page, a YouTube page. 22 seconds. Just watch that, and it'll give you the answer you're looking for right now.
I have it right here.
All right, pull it right up and get back to me after you click it and watch that shit. I think you'll be quite entertained by it.
I will do that.
Okay, I'll wait right here. Have you seen it, sir? What do you think? Ain't that a game changer? I mean, ain't that a game changer? Can you believe them boys and girls went down like that? They all died. They died burned alive. That's how they died.
Are you saying every one of them? How many were there?
Well, it was about 18, and that wasn't all of them. It turns out a couple of them had left the party for unrelated reasons, and it seems as though.
You know for a fact that they were home and they were burned alive.
Oh yeah, the bodies were found, and it was identified, dental records correlated. The whole damn shebangle. I mean, turns out one of these kids, it was one of the girls. She was the daughter of a South Carolina senator, Republican senator, and he's getting some federal investigation involved because he wants to figure out. Well, I'm afraid he is Republican. But sir, the thing you have to it is too bad. It is too bad. But what he's doing, and it's good for the drama, is the fact that we'll be following this in a parallel sense to all these other kind of retrospective events. That you have to understand that this is footage, 9 hours of footage we have of these people's last few hours on Earth. Okay, that's just compelling television right there in and of itself. But then
it
makes it.
I cannot recall any so-called reality show, with death as a prominent feature.
It's original, and I'm excited about it. That's why I brought it to you first, because I thought, you want to crack something like this, because this is something that different. This is a game changer. This is a TV history kind of thing. But I'll tell you this: we got 9 hours of it.
It is, yes, it is, as you said, a game changer. I do believe, and I cannot believe I'm saying this.
I know how I won't say the word cynical. I will say educated and realistic you are in your perception of world events and the events of this industry. But I tell you this, if you really think about this, this is fascinating, because we don't even know. It could have been a suicide pact. It could have been a murder. It could have been like a cult thing. It could have been an accident. It could have been arson. It's like, what happened? We don't even know what happened. So we're like in the middle of the story. The story ain't just in that footage of their death. It ain't just there. It's this fire that killed them, that robbed them of this adulthood, of this life that they could have had. It's fascinating.
Bobby, it is like nothing that has ever been on TV.
It's bold. It's big. It's bold and big. You know what I'm saying? I can see this going bold and big into the moon. These kids will be stars. They'll be major stars. They'll be dead stars. They'll be dead, but they'll be stars. And this end up.
Sometimes those are the best kind.
Well, I'll tell you what. They don't. I'll tell you what. The dead ones, they don't mind. They don't.
My principles, but I am so intrigued. I want to know myself how much.
Well, I'm just looking at maybe 7 to 8% above premium for hour cost, and we're looking at 5 hours in a minute series that we'll do, say, over 5 weeks, hour a week, promoted heavily. Of course, I'd like 20% of the budget of the licensing fee to go towards marketing, so that's a separate above the cost. P&A, of course, are going to be extra. So, we're looking at maybe, 6.5 or close to 7, near that. And we'll give you first look on the reruns and syndication, because those things are going to go to the moon and even be broken up. We're going to have the outtakes. We're going to have 20 hours of stuff we're leaving on the editing room floor that's going to be put on DVD and iTunes and all those ancillary, streams of revenue, as you understand. So, we'll give you a little taste of that.
With all those young people involved, there are so many stories that this could even be a sequel.
It's a possibility, because of course we'd have to have a different cast, because they're dead and all that. But we do have a couple of the people that we do.
The discussion of it could just fascinate people.
It's fascinating. We could adapt it. We could get some of those young stars to play some of these kids. We could actually go to Hollywood and make the Hollywood version of this. But we actually film. I don't think there's no footage of the fire, so we could actually create the fire and just get like this best special effects people in Hollywood. We could do stuff right and do this 8 ways to Sunday. This is a property that just grows and grows. We'll do a book. We'll make it into a Twilight kind of book for the teenagers. We'll go on the web. We'll do the whole damn shebang. I swear, it's going to be merchandising heaven. I'll tell you. It is vertically integrated, and it is capitulated, and it's going to be manipulated, and it's going to be ridiculated, because I'm telling you, this is something special, and I don't bring something home to roost like this to you. And I'll tell you, since you're a Louisiana boy, I've always gotten respect for you as my mentor, and I'm telling you, I've learned everything from you. It's my pleasure to give you this deal.
All right, no need to overdo it. It's already sold.
All right, you don't want to beat a dead horse, as they say down there south. So I hear you. I'm gonna send over those papers, and I'm gonna send you over some of that footage, because I think maybe you'd be interested in having yourself or some of your people looking at it, because there's some intriguing stuff in there, some fascinating little storylines that I'd like to bring to your attention. If you'd like us to focus on anything specific, because I think this is going to have quite a cultural impact. So I'll send them over by carrier to you along with the contracts. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, nice talking to you. We'll good doing business with you, and we'll talk about the premiere. We'll take a meeting in about a month or so. It may be down in Philadelphia at your place. All right.
My mind is running away.
I appreciate that, sir. That's very exciting. I'm glad I didn't have to go to auction. I didn't have to play some of these hardball games with Disney and all the other guys. So I really appreciate doing direct business with you. And I hope Comcast, NBC, and the whole Universal family really, really benefits from this package. Because I'm telling you, this thing's going to be special. Going to go to the moon. Going to go to the moon. I swear that. All right. I want to talk to you later, sir. All right. You take care now. I'll send over some shortcakes to you. I'll send over some shortcakes to you. All right. I promise, sir. Take care now.
Okay.
All right. Later.
Think the clouds aren't clogging up my brain like the weather drain, same as the tears on my face, and I'm stuck up in the storm. I guess I'll be alright.